Right.
The future of work.
It's already here.
Right.
Yeah.
And it feels like every day there's a new headline about AI taking over or,
Oh, yeah.
the skills gap widening.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it can feel like a lot.
So today, we are diving deep into the career skills that actually matter.
We're talking about how to future-proof your career no matter what happens.
Right.
And we've got a really great resource today.
Okay.
An article from World Insider 2024 called Career Skills, Mastering the Art of Professional Success.
I like it.
It came out pretty recently.
August 3rd.
Okay, so it is an 87-minute read.
Oh, wow.
So we're giving you kind of the...
The Spark Notes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
The Cliff's Notes version.
So you can walk away and feel like you've got...
Prepared.
Yes, prepared, informed, all of that.
Yeah. So the article starts out by defining career skills.
Okay.
And, it's not just knowing how to use a spreadsheet or
Right.
getting coding skills or something like that.
It's
a little bit bigger.
It's more than just those job skills.
Yes.
It's really about those core strengths.
Yes.
Those adaptable superpowers that can work anywhere.
In any job, any industry, really.
Yeah, I love that.
It's like, knowing a specific software is great.
But if you're a fantastic communicator,
Yeah.
that translates
That's huge.
everywhere you go.
And I think this article really stresses why career skills are becoming so important right now.
Because things are changing so quickly.
Yes.
AI, automation. I mean, you see the headlines everywhere you look.
All the time.
And the World Economic Forum actually predicts that half of us are going to need to upskill or reskill by 2025.
Oh, wow.
So it's really about being adaptable.
Employers are looking for people who can do the job, of course.
But they need to be able to learn new things, be flexible,
Right.
and really just be able to thrive in a changing environment.
It's like that game show, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, I remember that.
You've got to be ready for anything.
Totally. Be nimble.
So the article gives an example of this engineer
Okay.
who almost bombed a huge presentation because she wasn't great at public speaking.
Oh, no.
And it's just this reminder that
Even in a technical field, you still need
you need those people skills.
those people skills.
Yeah, communication is everything. I
Yeah.
mean, even more so now.
Right.
That human element.
It's becoming even more important in this tech-driven world.
Right, because we're not robots.
Exactly.
Okay.
Are you ready for the top 10?
Hit me with it.
The top 10 career skills you need right now.
Okay.
Get ready to take notes.
Communication, no surprise there.
Adaptability, digital literacy, emotional intelligence,
Critical thinking, collaboration, time management, leadership.
creativity, and continuous learning.
Okay, that's a lot. But
That's a mouthful.
right, it's not just any top 10 list.
Right.
This is like,
The best of the best.
this is what's going to help you succeed.
Make or break you in this job market.
And it's really interesting to see how some of these skills are evolving.
Oh, yeah.
Like take digital ethics, for example.
It's not just knowing how to use the tech. It's thinking about the implications of it.
Right. Because it's
Wow.
so powerful, especially with AI becoming more powerful and integrated into our lives.
A lot of responsibility.
It's like with great power comes...
Great responsibility.
Exactly.
And emotional intelligence. EQ.
Okay, tell me more about that.
That's becoming more and more important even, or maybe especially in the tech world.
Oh, interesting.
You can have all the coding skills in the world, but if you can't work on a team or understand client needs,
Things can fall apart.
yeah, so it's about being a human.
Exactly. And those soft skills, they're what set us apart.
So to our listeners out there,
Which of these top 10 do you feel really confident in?
and which ones do you want to maybe work on a little bit?
And knowing is only half the battle, right?
Totally.
How do you actually develop these skills?
Well, the good news is this article gives you some practical steps you can take.
Okay, tell me more.
So they talk about things like online learning platforms,
Yeah.
which of course is a big
Yeah,
one.
everyone's doing that.
Mentorship, on-the-job experiences.
Joining professional associations.
Oh, yeah, I always forget about those.
Right. But it's a great way to network,
Yeah.
learn from the best.
Meet people in your field.
Exactly.
Um,
But the article makes a really good point.
okay.
One of the biggest challenges is finding the time.
Yes.
We're all so busy.
Tell me about it.
So one thing that they suggest is something called micro-learning.
Micro-learning, what is that?
So it's basically finding little pockets of time throughout your day
Okay.
to do some learning
I like that.
instead of needing to carve out a huge chunk of time.
Right, like you're not going to do an hour-long course every day.
Right.
But you could do...
You could listen to a podcast on your commute.
Ooh, sneaky plug.
Maybe watch a quick TED Talk while you're working out.
Even just reading an industry article every day.
Okay.
That all adds up.
I love that because it feels way more doable than...
Way less overwhelming.
Yeah.
And when it's not so overwhelming,
Yeah.
you're more likely to stick with it.
That's a really good point.
So listeners,
Think about it. What's one skill you want to work on?
and can you find 15 minutes today to do a little micro-learning?
I love it.
Okay, so you're crushing the skill building.
We're pro.
How do you let people know you have these skills?
That is such a good point
Right.
because it's not enough to just have the skills.
You have to be able to show them off.
That's true.
Market yourself.
Okay, how do we do that?
Your resume and your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Those are key.
That's the first impression.
Exactly. And
And-
you want to make sure that you're tailoring it for each specific job.
Okay.
So none of this like generic resume stuff.
So what should we be doing instead?
You want to highlight the skills and experiences that are relevant to what they're looking for.
So do your research.
Exactly.
Figure out what they want.
Read the job description
Okay.
and then make sure that your resume reflects that.
It's like you're giving them the answers to the test.
Yes. And remember, show, don't tell.
Okay.
So use action verbs
Give me an example.
instead of saying you improved sales.
Say you increase sales by 20%.
Oh, I like that.
Quantify those accomplishments.
Yes.
And use LinkedIn to get recommendations that are specific.
Okay.
Don't just have someone say, oh, they're a great worker.
Have them say, this person is an amazing problem solver
Oh, that's good.
or a communication superstar.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
So really highlight those specific skills,
So we talked about what career skills are,
how to build them.
how to show them off.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle.
Okay, what's that?
It's about understanding how these skills are used in the real world,
Okay,
in different industries.
right.
Because a skill that's in high demand in tech,
Might not be as important in healthcare, for instance.
right, but there's definitely some overlap.
Totally.
But did you know that fintech literacy is becoming more and more important in healthcare?
It's so interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because as healthcare uses more digital solutions,
Yeah, with telehealth and
you
everything.
need people who understand that world.
It's like they need a translator.
Yeah.
It's like they're speaking two different languages.
Yeah,
And somebody needs to be bilingual.
exactly. And, you know, this World Insider article.
It does a deep dive into all different kinds of industries,
Okay.
like tech, healthcare, finance, education.
And breaks down what skills you need for each one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it explains why.
Okay.
Like, why is creative problem solving so important in education right now?
Or why data storytelling is becoming so essential for marketing.
Right, because that could be a whole other deep dive.
Exactly.
But there was this one connection that really surprised me.
Okay.
Did you know that sustainable thinking?
Is becoming a really important skill in the fashion industry.
That is fascinating.
Right.
You don't always put those two things together.
Not right away.
But people are thinking more about...
The environment and the social impact of their clothing.
It's true, yeah, like fast fashion.
Is that still a thing?
Well, it's definitely evolving,
Right, because we want to look good.
but we want to feel good about it too.
Exactly. And it goes beyond fashion.
This idea of sustainable thinking about the impact of your actions,
Yeah.
that's becoming important everywhere.
Okay, that's a really good point.
It doesn't matter what you do.
So listeners,
How could this trend towards sustainable thinking,
impact your field.
how could you incorporate it?
Even if it's not something you're already doing.
That's something to think about.
It is. It's how we move forward.
Well, I feel very inspired.
Me too.
I feel like we really unpacked a lot
We did. We went from feeling overwhelmed
because there's so much advice out there.
to having a plan. And it's not about being an expert in everything.
Okay.
It's about being open to learning new things.
Right.
Always.
Always be learning.
There's this great quote from Alvin Toffler, that futurist.
Okay, yeah.
He said, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write,
Okay.
but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn."
Ooh, I like that. So good.
It's about being flexible.
Being willing to change and grow.
Yes, exactly.
So to our listeners,
Thank you so much for being here with us.
thank you.
We hope you feel ready to go after your career goals.
Yes, the future is yours to create.
Ooh, I like that.
So if you want to keep talking about this,
Come find us on social media.
let us know what your biggest takeaways were.
Yeah, we want to hear your thoughts.
And we will link to that World Insider article.
So you can check it out for yourselves.
And until next time, happy learning, everybody.